Hi guys, JT here. Today I'm bringing you some information on the Humble Bundle 4X Xplore, Xpand, Xploit, Xterminate bundle of May 2026. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? By using the links in the description below, you'll gain access to this bundle and support the channel in the process. Before I begin, I'd like to thank you the viewers watching my videos. I hope they're helpful. Most importantly, knowing that you're watching it means the world. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have Elemental Reforged, a fantasy 4X RPG hybrid that consolidates over a decade of Stardock's strategy legacy into a unified 64-bit experience. Setting foot in the shattered land of Anthis, you'll quickly discover that this game elevates standard strategy design by allowing you to dynamically reshape the terrain using elemental shards. You do not just manage generic factions here. You lead 10 distinct empires with highly varied playstyles, supported by an honest AI that operates under the exact same rules as you do. The unique feature of the game is a dynasty system. Your sovereign forms a generational narrative where marriage and heirs matter, ensuring that when your ruler dies, your empire's campaign continues fluidly through your bloodline. Furthermore, you can customize your army composition from scratch, turning anonymous units into highly personal named veterans whose battlefield deaths genuinely hurt. Strategic progression expands across 3 deep research branches: civilization, warfare, and magic, giving you infinite campaign variations, though the sheer depth can occasionally overwhelm newcomers. When armies clash, you command turn-based tactical skirmishes where positioning and world-altering magic formulas dictate success. While the functional presentation prioritizes performance and clarity over spectacular visuals, the game guarantees massive stability alongside excellent Steam Workshop mod support. This game delivers a deeply personalized, rewarding strategic sandbox. It requires a significant time investment and a steep learning curve, but if you're willing to embrace its complexity, you'll find an extraordinary, transformative world waiting to be conquered. At number 2 we have Songs of Silence, a solid 4X strategy game that avoids bogging you down with unnecessary narrative info dumps, opting instead to let its compelling writing and action dictate the flow. The main campaign spans 8 chapters, following protagonists like Queen Lorelei as she seeks refuge for her people from a devastating scourge called the Silence. The overworld movement, settlement upgrading, and city sieges are all turn-based, but combat shifts into fast-paced real-time. Instead of controlling units directly, your tactical influence relies on positioning and managing a commander's specific deck of ability cards. These tarot-like cards are gained or upgraded when your heroes level up. Interestingly, you cannot combine separate armies into a single battle. Instead, you must use the secondary forces as a reserve line. The game flips classic combat stereotypes on their heads, meaning a diverse, well-manned army can tackle larger opponents, while a single tactical mistake can force a frantic load-save waltz. The visual style is a unique feature, earning a nomination for Outstanding Visual Style at the Steam Awards. It offers gorgeous storybook-like art portraits and backdrops that beautifully illustrate the fantasy world, complete with distinct unit models like Highland cows and hogs for cavalry. The in-house orchestral soundtrack, featuring plenty of horns and flutes, perfectly accompanies this mood without ever sounding heartless. While the gameplay might occasionally feel repetitive or simplistic to strategy veterans, it remains a highly engaging experience. This game delivers great value, ensuring that you'll absolutely get your money's worth. At number 3 we have Distant Worlds 2, a massive, pausable, real-time 4X space strategy game that gives you full control over a living, breathing galaxy. With over 2,000 star systems to explore, you can build your empire through diplomacy, trade, or warfare, while managing fleets, colonies, and resources. The game's deep automation tools allow you to fine-tune how much you want to micromanage, whether you prefer commanding every detail, or letting AI assistants handle the tedious work. The private economy system adds realism, as trade and logistics function independently from your direct control. Each faction has unique abilities, technologies, and playstyles, ensuring a fresh experience with every playthrough. However, while the scale is impressive, the mechanics do not always deliver meaningful depth. Some systems feel more like spreadsheets than engaging gameplay, and fleet management can be frustrating due to automation quirks. Visually, the game is functional but outdated, and sound design leaves much to be desired. While the UI has improved since launch, it still has rough edges that can make navigation cumbersome. The development team continues to support the game, but updates focus heavily on new factions rather than refining core mechanics. If you love complex strategy games and enjoy tweaking automation to suit your playstyle, Distant Worlds 2 can be an engrossing experience. But if you're looking for a more intuitive and visually polished game, you may find the learning curve and interface off-putting. At number 4 we have
Interstellar Space Genesis, a turn-based space 4X strategy game where you attempt to build a thriving galactic empire. There are several races for you to choose from, each with their own unique abilities, strengths, and weaknesses. This will affect your planetary colonization capabilities, essentially giving different playstyles for you to master. You're thrown into a space map. Exploring space allows you to discover and colonize new planets as your technologies advance. You'll be building colonies, researching technology, and do plenty of exploring. When you think everything is going fine, you're then faced with political upheaval. Maybe an alien race is pissed off at you for not sharing some helium with them. Every turn can propel you into a new direction of adventure. There's nothing predictable about this game. You'd think for a game like this, all you have to do is make decisions that best suit your colony. But this game throws you enough curveballs to make you decide otherwise. Sometimes you have to be willing to work with your enemies to keep them at bay, and sometimes you just have to declare war. The battle system is turn-based, and works a bit like a very simplified version of XCOM. Each ship has a percentage to hit the other ship in turns, and you can close the distance between you and the enemy ship or fight from afar. This game is clearly more about the colony building and politics though. If you like to feel what it's like to build a colony in space, but with less budget than Planetfall, then you might want to give this game a try.
At number 5 we have Thea 2, The Shattering, a hybrid strategy role-playing game where you guide a mortal tribe through a fantasy post-apocalypse rooted in Slavic mythology. Instead of controlling a physical character, you assume the role of an all-powerful deity overseeing a chosen hero, like the famously cabbage-associated Cabbage Joe, who leads your people from wandering nomads into a blossoming settlement. The game layers multiple genres together, attempting to be a digital card game, an RPG, and a 4X strategy game all at once. You navigate a hexagonal grid across separate islands, utilizing movement points to gather resources, craft equipment, manage settlements, and explore random story encounters. However, the complex rules and daunting menus often get in the way of the actual fun. The card-based combat feels tedious enough that you might find yourself auto-resolving 90% of your battles, and you could spend hours numbly repeating cooking and crafting tasks. Yet, despite its flaws, you cannot help but feel affectionate toward this imperfect machine. The true joy of the game is not found in the numbers, but in the ability to generate wonderfully bizarre emergent stories. It behaves like a mathematical bard that lets you piece together chaotic memorable chronicles. You'll remember the child delivered by a stork who grows up to be a purple whirlwind demon studying rat corpses, or the time your entire party fell ill because a rogue demon decided to defecate in your food supplies. It is a strange, imperfect, and thoroughly endearing narrative box. At number 6 we have Rogue Hex, a tactical roguelike deck builder that beautifully fuses strategic card game mechanics with city building elements. You guide a hero named Barbara the Barbarian across various eras and environments, from ancient castles to futuristic skylines. Your main mission is to build and defend thriving cities and hostile lands while facing waves of challenging enemies. Each turn starts with a selection of hexagonal tiles, allowing you to expand your territory while balancing adjacency bonuses and placement strategy. The card system introduces powerful effects, like summoning defensive towers, boosting production, or unleashing devastating attacks. However, every card carries a cost, forcing you to manage limited draws and balance immediate survival against long-term economic growth. Because the environment, enemy spawn points, and available cards shift during every run, you're constantly thrown into controlled chaos that demands adaptation and foresight. Combat plays out like a complex puzzle where you must optimize your layout against incoming threat waves. A single misplaced building can open a massive vulnerability, while a clever arrangement can neutralize a stronger force. In between runs, you earn charms that permanently modify your tactics and keep the overall gameplay loop fresh. While you might find the sudden difficulty spikes feel frustratingly steep at the beginning, the game rewards your patience with deep strategic satisfaction. Backed by a clean, readable art style and dynamic sound design that shifts with the eras, Rogue Hex provides a carefully planned ecosystem of choices that'll keep you coming back for more. At number 7 we have Endless Legend, a 4X turn-based strategy game from 2014 that remains one of the most vibrant and creatively important entries in the entire genre. It breaks away from traditional formulas to deliver a deeply imaginative fantasy world. When you play, you'll find a beautifully procedurally generated hex map divided into distinct regions that allow only one city per territory. Rather than restricting you to a rigid technology tree, the game gives you total freedom with expansive tech pools categorized by tier. The crowning achievement of this game lies in its 14 incredibly distinct factions. Instead of receiving minor numerical bonuses, you encounter empires with completely game-changing mechanics. For instance, you can control the roving clans, who build cities on giant scarabs and move them at will, or the cultists, who are restricted to a single metropolis but brainwash minor factions. Each empire possesses a unique main questline that weaves rich narrative lore directly into your strategic gameplay. Exploration is highly rewarding, as you discover dozens of unique environmental anomalies across 50 terrain types. When conflict arises, battles transition seamlessly into localized tactical minigames on the map, utilizing the surrounding terrain, while modern titles have since adopted and refined these mechanics, making certain UI elements feel slightly dated today. Its breathtaking musical score and unparalleled world-building endure. It stands as a phenomenal achievement that earns its place in the Strategy Hall of Fame. If you appreciate unmatched mechanical innovation and atmosphere, it remains a masterful experience worth exploring. At number 8 we have AI War 2, a grand strategy RTS hybrid that flips genre expectations on their head. Instead of overwhelming firepower and rapid expansion, you start as the underdog, holding one measly planet in a galaxy already conquered by a powerful AI. Your mission is to outsmart the machine. Every move you make matters. Take too much, too fast, and you draw lethal attention. Move too slowly and you'll never be ready when the AI strikes. This is a game where you must adapt constantly. You'll manage fleets, plan surgical strikes, and research upgrades, all while trying not to wake the sleeping giant watching your every step. The scale is vast. Dozens of planets, thousands of ships, and an evolving enemy that never lets its guard down. What makes AI War 2 special is how it challenges you to think like a strategist, not a click-happy commander. Automation handles the busy work, freeing you to focus on the big picture. The interface is smart, the performance impressively optimized, and the mod support is deep. Whether you play casually or dive into its labyrinth of mechanics, the game bends to your style, until it doesn't, and you're fighting to survive. This is not about domination, it is about outwitting a superior force with limited tools and sharp decision making. If you're tired of formulaic strategy games and crave a fresh, cerebral challenge, this is for you. Just be warned, the learning curve is steep, and the AI does not play fair. But when you win, you earned it. At number 9 we have Sins of a Solar Empire 2, a space-based strategy game that masterfully fuses real-time battles with the deep empire building of a 4X title. Returning to this cosmic conflict, you'll find that developer Ironclad Games has successfully justified a sequel by layering intelligent new mechanics over the original's beloved foundation. The headline attraction is the inclusion of celestial mechanics. You're no longer fighting across static maps. Instead, planets, moons, and asteroids orbit their stars in real time. This orbital movement shifts phase lanes, constantly rewriting the tactical layout and forcing you to anticipate how the shifting heavens might leave your flanks exposed to rival factions. To help you manage these vast complexities, the game introduces incredible quality-of-life automation. Build scouts immediately explore, reinforced ships rally directly to your fleets, and an intelligent construction system automatically queues necessary tech prerequisites for you. This allows you to focus less on micromanagement and more on a glorious adrenaline-pumping combat. When massive fleets clash, the fully simulated lasers, missiles, and tracking turrets deliver a jaw-dropping visual spectacle. Each of the 3 returning races features distinct sub-factions tailored to aggressive or defensive playstyles. While single-player diplomacy feels somewhat perfunctory due to a disinterested AI, playing with untrustworthy human counterparts adds immense tension, especially with new time-locked alliance timers. Sins of Solar Empire 2 leaves peaceful galactic councils behind to focus on what it does best. When it comes to pure, unadulterated space warfare on an epic scale, absolutely nobody does it better. Please note that this bundle gives you a 50% off coupon as opposed to the game itself. At number 10 we have Master of Magic, a turn-based strategy RPG and a remake of the beloved 1990s classic. You step into the role of a powerful wizard, choosing from 14 unique spellcasters and 5 schools of magic to command fantastical races like elves, orcs, and dragons. The The game blends empire building, tactical combat, and magical research across 2 worlds, Arcanus and Mirror, offering a nostalgic yet ambitious 4X experience. If you love the original, you'll find familiar mechanics here. Over 200 spells to discover, hundreds of magical items, and nearly 200 unit types. The dual realm gameplay remains engaging, and customization options for wizards and races provide plenty of replay value. Visually, the overworld and town maps look polished, and the music strikes a satisfying chord. However, the remake stumbles with its clunky UI and poorly optimized controls. You may find yourself fighting the interface more than enemy wizards, with inconsistent command behavior and unintuitive shortcuts making basic actions tedious. Auto-resolve in combat often delivers baffling losses, and the AI swings from passive to irrationally hostile with no warning. Frequent bugs and a lack of quality of life features, like auto-explore or proper unit management, can grind your momentum. This version feels more like a modded fan project than a fully modern revival. If you're a longtime fan, there's still magic to be found, buried under layers of jank. For newcomers or strategy veterans looking for polish, this isn't quite ready for the throne. Please note that this bundle gives you a 60% off coupon, as opposed to the game itself. And that's all for this bundle. If you want to absolutely dominate the galaxy, the 4X Explore, Xpand, Xploit, Xterminate bundle is an absolute steal for a strategy backlog. Snagging heavy hitters like Endless Legend, Distant Worlds 2, and AI War 2 with tons of DLC for just $12 is a massive win condition. While the $20 tier splits some DLCs and includes a few questionable coupons, the raw value here is insane. Time to lock it in, min-max your economy, and crush the campaign map. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.